Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Kim with the Craft Space. Welcome to day 17 of my December daily, as well as a non-traditional blue and gold wintry journal flip through. So I thought I would bring you along for that, and thanks for coming back. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. If you've come back, thanks so much for spending some time with me during this busy holiday season while we do I just have a few journals that I found that I need to get up on the shop right before Christmas, and I thought I would do them here. So this one is fun. It's light blue and gold, fun little tassel, all done in just ribbons and trims. This was done with multiple layers for the front cover. The tie is a sheer ribbon with some silver snowflakes on it. All right, let's just get started here. It is a little bit smaller. It's not a, I usually do them like 6x9, 7x9, that type of thing. But this time I did one that was just a little bit smaller. It was done with a cereal box. Nope, this is actually a brownie box that I did this with. I just love this, how this one came together with all these blues, nice cool blues and sparkles and fun colors. Couple of pockets so you can slip in your explanations in the front as to what do you do with the junk journal, that type of thing, as well as I will pop in here this journal belongs to, I've not been over to the studio for a couple of days, and so that's where I have them stored in my stash. So I will tuck those right in those pockets. This paper is fun. It's, you can't really write on it. I mean, I guess you could glue to it, but you can't write on it. It's, it almost feels like a fabric softener sheet, and it's real fibrous. I just thought it looked really pretty as your transition sheet from the front page to the actual journal. A little graph paper, and the paper was it's thinner than I had hoped, and so I added a piece of coordinating scrapbook paper to break it up so maybe you could write on both sides. There's plenty of room in this journal for writing. This one is not overly packed with all of the pages full. Here is a food color dyed page with a little, this is not a tuck, this is just a embellishment on the corner. It just gave a little bit of stability. I like too when the pages are thinner, where they add nice color, but I like to add a little bit of structure to them so when you are turning them, there's at least maybe one place on them that has a little reinforcement. Here is a nice journaling spot and some cute little ornaments. This is a pearl page. I found some really nice scrapbook paper or copy paper that was white pearl. I don't know if you can really see that, but it is a pearlized paper. I just love that. I try to use it whenever possible. Another hand-dyed paper with some trim that coordinates from my tassel. Has a little bit, some gingham paper, a belly band with some stenciling on it, a tag in a journaling spot of more graph paper. This is a piece that unfolds. I love making these just because I think it gives you a really great option of how much journaling space you can have for those days you really want to write a lot. And behind it, one of the pages from the signature is a micro graph paper. So I thought that looked really, really cute there. And the flower was made from a map page, so it's some ocean. All right. Journaling page, some candy canes. Again, this isn't overly traditionally Christmas. It's a little bit more wintry. Another map page, one of those maps. Punched it out just to try to get some of the colors to coordinate, which is funny because this is how I normally make my journals, are very color coordinated, and let the buyer be as eclectic or as conservative as they want with their journals. Whereas that my December daily is completely different than the way I normally build my journals. But again, like I said, I'm going to try to be outside of the box and try some new styles throughout the next year. Dictionary page. And I'm always on the fence with these. Do I cover the dictionary page up with a place to journal on it, or do I clip something on the edge to give you more places to journal? And even though there is a print to this, it's still uniform enough and a light enough color that you can write over it. A nice chunky silver marker, a nice big blue Sharpie. That would be fun to journal in there. You could even journal in each one of the sections, like for a whole week. Little polka dots, I thought that would add a little bit of fun color, and then brought those polka dots through with a stencil. This is an envelope, which I did not see. Is it? Sometimes I build I think I built this one in September. It must be the other way. That I always surprise myself with what's in them. A tag, but this is definitely an envelope. I added a little washi tape, and this is the front of the envelope with some little houses. Again, snowflakes to carry the theme through. Some journaling spaces and a little point of interest. Here is the middle of the first signature. I just thought these just turned out so elegant and so pretty on the center page on these tags. And let's see, did I make these? Nope, these are not little pockets. These are just decorative. Made some little extra journaling spaces where you can pull them out for lists for Santa Claus. Pull them out if you're at a restaurant. Pull it out for the kids to play on, write on. You can do shopping lists. You can do all types of things with these nice little pads of paper. And there's the back of that envelope with a similar journaling spot. Cute little dog and looks like a little boy with a sailor suit on in blue and white. Matching tag. Try to coordinate back and forth throughout the journal. Tie things together a little bit. Here, this is a fun journaling spot. It is a doily, a vintage Christmas card out of a magazine. Journaling spot. I did some punching on the corners to make it interesting, and then flipped it in this polka dot page that just kind of gives you a little bit of break from just the matching colors. I really enjoy making wraparound pieces for my music pages or dictionary pages or book pages, and you can write a little bit something on there. For those days you don't need to write a lot. Some more journaling spots, large empty pages for you to decorate yourself or to do a lot of journaling. This is part of a box, a Christmas box that I cut up. It had 3 panels on it, and they didn't really fit all together, so I split them up and made them into journaling spots. Here's what did I do with this? Oh, this is a hidden paper clip that is slipped over this page with some a little scrap from the tassel that I made. I don't want to take that off. Save some time, we'll leave that on there. Just some punch outs added on there, points of interest. You can take this off and clip it anywhere you'd like. You can slip something underneath here, that type of thing. Then we have the back of that gingham page. I just love that. More of that food coloring dyed. I think this one was done It didn't come out very dark, so then after it was all done, I went ahead and sprayed it with a spray bottle with a little extra blue food coloring in it. We are back to that pearlized paper. Oh, I thought she was just sweet. Little girl in her pajamas getting ready for Santa to come. Little vintage picture. That dark page. Grabbed a piece of matching washi tape so that this split this page up. And really, with junk journaling, what is so fun about it is there's just no rules. It's just doing art and being creative, and there's no rules. I thought that was pretty, really added to the color. And we are at the end of the first signature. And here's that back page of that fibrous page. And then I found another one that was just, nope, this is parchment, a little piece of parchment paper. To be similar, but not exactly the same. I like to try to coordinate, like I said. A nice little piece to break up the graph paper, and added some of this eyelash. I don't know if you can see it very well. Maybe if I do it like this. Added some of that eyelash type trim. You can see the other side of it. It's a piece of this where it's the ribbon inside, the little eyelash trim. I have a friend named Eilish, and so that's why I probably keep saying that. A little bit more. Made another little notepad. I just cut this down from some computer paper. Added a piece, stapled it, if you can see that, and then added a piece of sparkly tape across the top. And like I said, I just cut this down so it was the size I wanted. Tuck this right in here. Little side pocket. You can add all kinds of little things if you want to. And I did just cut this off for my December daily today. So I'm just gonna stick that in there because I think that looks pretty cute in there. That pearl paper, more of the blue. This is the top of that gingham paper. I have a couple of tags and a snowman. This is from a Christmas card. I made a, let's see here. This is a little, not just, but a scrappy little notebook. It's got a little doily in it. For those days you want to just write a little bit in here. Be fun with it. You can glue little pictures in there. Stick all kinds of fun things in there. And then this is a little glittery paper. I don't normally use glittery stuff, but like I wanted to do something different on this one. It's Christmas. Let's go off a little bit of bling. More journaling space. Back of that candy cane paper. Here's part of that map. I thought this would be cute if you wanted to glue a picture of Santa where he's flying across, like for the holidays, or if you want to put anything else on there. This coordinated is a bit of a pocket. You can tuck things in there. I try not to over embellish them so that it gives the buyer a chance to put whatever they would like in there. Here is the top to that envelope. Put a little sparkly rickrack on there. This is a fold out where you can journal on this little notebook part. This was a little busy to journal on, so I added a little journaling space here, added a couple of pages to this, a great place to go ahead and journal there. We are now to the middle of the second signature. Like I said, this has 2 signatures in it. The measurements and all the full details will be on the Etsy site, but this is just for fun to get videos done to add to that, and I thought, why not share them here. Cute little notebook. You can take this out, drop this in your purse, fill it up with anything you want to fill it up with, and tuck it back in. I made a little notebook with some stamps. I thought those stamps were cute, matched the theme. And instead of making this one completely symmetrical, I just added some other fun things. This paper is like a natural homemade paper, but it's got silver, looks like somebody put that garland, you know, the little silver garland, put it in a little blender and mixed it in when they were making the paper. Thought that was pretty to add in there. Another one of those little flip open notebooks. Again, there's plenty of room for your own things, or for journaling, embellishments, extra Christmas cards, some little extra bits and pieces. I like to, when I'm doing a journal that's themed like this, I start out with a big pile of all the things from my stash of things I think I'm going to use. And then when I get all done with the journal and I put all of the bits into, oh, this is a pocket up here too. And I put all the things in there that I want to put in there, I will go through and take some extra bits and I will fill it up with some extra things. And a lot of times I will add an envelope of more things to go with it, because once it's already kind of earmarked for this, I like to send it along with it. The back of the envelope, I thought this was fun. It looks like bricks. So it reminded me of like Santa, but non-traditionally, like it could be a fireplace or a chimney. And this page was just way too stark white for me, so I added a rubber stamp in a couple of different colors, stamped it a couple of times to make a focal point. Some little journaling pieces that I paper clipped over. Another map page. These colors just went really well with this. This is a piece of computer paper that we all used to print on, that you can find anywhere now, because I don't think people really print on that type of paper for their Christmas cards or like their old-fashioned Christmas letters or wedding announcements. And so I had a pretty silver foil to it, a little silver foil snowflake, another bit of that candy cane. And look at Mr. Snowman here in the back, wishing you a happy holiday. He's pretty cute. I really like when I do these and then I do a flip through on them a couple months later, because then it's all, seems like it's new and it's a surprise to me. Alrighty. And here's that micro paper. This paper was a little thin, so I added some scrapbook paper here to give it some stability. I love that. I love this gingham paper. And we are back to that dyed paper. Let me know in the comment below, do you just do tea dye and coffee dye, or have you kind of branched out into the colored food coloring dyes? I don't like to soak my papers so much like I did with that really saturated one, because it does make the paper, it really makes it, it doesn't seem like it fortifies it like the tea paper or the coffee paper does. It really does kind of break it down. To me, it's what it feels like. So I like to do the method where I dip it through really quickly and get a very light back tint on it. I let it dry and then I hit it with the spray bottle. The other back page of that pearl paper, a nice little flip page. I don't have anything tucked in there. A little bell paper clip. These colors just seem to really go well together. This is what I was talking about with that saturated paper. It just seems to break the paper down more than when you put it in tea or coffee, where it seems like that gives it a little bit of something to it, a little bit of oomph to it. This seems like it makes it almost a little more fragile. And I glued a doily over it and I left the little flap, so if you wanted to tuck something in there, or at least it didn't want to glue it all the way down. And we're almost to the end. Great. Little piece of graph paper, and I used some of that trim to make a little tab on there, and the back parchment page. And in here will go a little thank you note, and that is the end of this journal. And the back is just, it's got the same as this, but it's just, I left that solid. I mean, and you could just go on for hours and hours and hours and add and embellish and do all the things, but I like to leave some of it to the person who's going to make this their very own. So there is that, and this is going up on the Etsy shop, so thank you for being part of going through that with me so I can get that all done. It's really nice to do some of these videos because then I can get my work done and share it with all of you. All right, well, here is day 17 of my December daily. Really trying to stay caught up on that. 17, we're past the halfway mark for the month. We're doing good, and I might do one. My birthday is in January, so I may do a full birthday month if I can get a journal made for myself for January. I'll do a January daily to do like a birthday month and do everything leading up. So here we are, and I think I may have, I'm going to ask your opinion, I think I may have found something for the cover. When I was going through some of my Christmas stuff, I found this. It's wooden, so it's a little hefty, but I really thought it was adorable. And I found it going through some Christmas stuff, and I thought, well, I wonder what that would look like on the front. Did I want to do that? So let me know down below. What do you think? Do you think that would look cute on the front of here? See, I mean, it's going to cover up a lot of this, my collage, but I do have a copy of my collage in here. So, I'm still thinking about it. So I have it here hanging at my desk, so it looks pretty cute. But I don't know yet, so let me know in the comment below. And while you're leaving a comment for me, I would really love it if you would take the time to like this video if you're enjoying these videos, and if you would subscribe to my channel, that would help me out a lot. I'm still trying to figure out, I haven't spent a lot of time, I'm still trying to figure out how to copy my videos from my other channel without being able to log in, so that I can share all of those tutorials with you here instead of having to redo them. But I will keep you apprised of that. As I've said, I'm not very technology driven, and so it does take me a little bit longer when it comes to that part of this whole endeavor. Okay, and I grabbed a pencil so we can mark off the calendar. And the only thing I have to do on this layout is I need to add my 17 to what I did for today. And today, I kind of fell into a trap. As I was doing today's, I was pulling out a bunch of things, and then I noticed there were a lot of snowmen, so I went, you know what, I'm going to go through my box. I'm going to pull out everything that is snowman related and snowflake related, and so it is kind of a little coordinated, a little matchy-matchy like I said I wasn't going to do, but okay, so I fell into the trap. So I made a little snowman out of some envelopes. You can't see him because I covered him up, but he does have the 3 snowmen, some snowflakes left over, some corners from, I actually made some paper snowflakes to decorate the window of my studio as I'm getting closer to decorating for January and February. So taking the Christmas down off the schedule, or not the schedule, off the front window, and decorating it for just kind of a winter theme. So I made old-fashioned blue and white paper snowflakes to put all over back like we had in elementary school. And these were just some of the pieces. And so I wanted to remember that I did that. And so I added those to my layout. This is, I pulled one of my business cards out. What I do is, instead of just making business cards and paying money for business cards, I take bits and pieces of paper where if the paper didn't work well, or I didn't really like how the die turned out, I will just, on my printer will print out my logo and fold them in half and make little booklets out of them. I'll staple a few pages in them, and I have labels on the back, so that gives all the information. And then I leave these around, tuck these out, and hand these out as business cards, so they get a cute little paper little notebook, and it's got all the info on it, and then they can write stuff down on it and keep it in the purse. So I just figured that would be cute. I found a blue one that was laying in my stash, so I thought the blue would go nicely with today's layout with my snowflakes I was making. This was a bookmark from the library, and this is what I used for journaling today. And it's nothing private on this one. I wrote about how back when I was before my kids, before I think I was only in my early 20s, 20, 21, I remembered building a almost two-story snowman. And I just thought about him the other day when I was trudging through to the backyard to the chicken coop, about how I remember I just had all of this time to spend. I mean, it took me a good 6-7 hours to build this giant snow dog in my front yard with a big bowl that I could actually sit. This dog was so big I could sit in the bowl that I made for him. And as I was trudging out in the snow was kind of that perfect snowman snow as the temperature was rising and we had a bunch of snow outside. It really reminded me of the day that I went out and just said, you know what, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to take time for me and I'm going to build myself a snowman. And it turned into my dog back then, my dog named Max. It was just he and I by ourselves before my kids came, before I was married, anything like that. And it really was a nice memory. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to add that to today's snowman layout. So when I journal, I don't necessarily have it to be some big philosophical, life-changing journaling. Sometimes it's just some lyrics from a song that I remembered, or a cute memory, or a quote that I heard, or it all just depends on what everybody likes to do for their own journals. So let's get back to this. I'm hooked on suckers right now. I don't know what's going on, but I am loving just old-fashioned suckers, especially those with a little gum inside. I found some bazooka ones the other day. I found some blow pop ones the other day, and they're great because they give you about a half an hour worth of a little treat without all the extra calories, and there's a little gum inside. It lasts you only like maybe 3 or 4 minutes before the flavor is gone. So, and then you don't feel like you want to just eat sweets all day long while we're in the midst of all of this treat time over the holidays. And I just got hooked, and the box was really cute, so I saved that and popped it there. And these are blow pop drops, I think what they were called. So then if I don't want to have a whole sucker, I just put 1 or 2 in there. They're only like, this shows how giant, they're not that big. They're really like the size of a lemon drop. And they were fun, so I thought they looked really pretty in here. Used a few snowmen, some extra snowflakes, some stickers with snowmen. Just filled it up with snowmen for the day. And I thought this would be a really nice layout for today. I really am predicting that being here in Northeast Ohio, we get all this snow and all this cold near the beginning of December, midway through December, and then by the 25th, we are brown and muddy and in the 40s, and we have no snow left. So that's what I'm predicting, even though we still have about 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground. It's very wet snow right now, perfect for snowmen, but I believe it's going to melt before we get to the actual holiday, so we'll see. I added my snowman from the other day's little tutorial. These are just some from Christmas cards I kept. This is from wrapping paper I had. I added, I cut him. He was that little bookmark I got from the library, and he was too long. So I clipped off his letters that looked like snowflakes and just added to fill in some of the white spots. A couple little bits here. The envelope that the Christmas card came in, I used to fill up the back. And I think it turned out pretty cute. Very eclectic, very not matchy-matchy, other than the fact that it's all one theme. I think it's a lot different than, if you notice, different than my other layouts where they're very clean, very precise, and very coordinated. So the only thing I had didn't do is I could not find a 17. Boy, after I used up that cereal box, I feel like my options of numbers are lacking. So I did find a bingo card, and so I cut the 17 out of it, and then I used that bingo and I tucked it into that journal that we just looked through. So I'm going to use the 17 from the bingo card because it was blue and white. It didn't have to be blue and white, it just happened to be. And when I was moving some things off of my desk to get my Cricut out because I have to finish some holiday gifts, I found this bingo card. So we're gonna just add him right here. There we go. So this one is now done. And we got a little 17 on there. I did use a double page again, which I keep trying to think I'm just going to do one. But it was, the pages are short. They are a little bit shorter pages. And so this one's got a tab. But and we're just past the midpoint of the second signature with, you know, a little bit more than a week and a half to go. And I still have one full signature. And we're moving into less holiday colors. I can see what's coming up. It looks like some more browns, some gold, some yellow, some more tea dyed. So that'll be nice because then maybe I can start winding down out of so much the traditional Christmas and using up other things in my stash that are not quite so Christmassy. And then when I get all the way to the 31st, I might go back and add everything that's left. I'll go back and do just random pages just for fun and being creative, that type of thing. All right, and then for today, I did on my little grid, I don't even know what this is called, but my little snippet grid, I did just a blue background from an envelope and added a cute little snowman that was on a piece of Happy Meal. I think this was on somebody's envelope, so I snippeted the snowman that goes with it. So he's on there, and I still have not figured out how we're going to add to it, but we still have quite a few days before I need to make that decision. And the last thing I just need to do while I have you guys here is cross off my 17, and I'm going to do it in blue. Whoops, and it matches. See, too matchy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this a little bit thicker because this pencil is so light. And here we are. We're at the 17th. And I thank you for coming. Thank you for spending some time during this busy holiday. And I hope to see you tomorrow. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.